In the bustling town of Nui, where the echoes of industrial prowess resound through the streets, lived Felix, a middle-aged man with a heart as big as his dreams. Despite being illiterate, Felix had carved a niche for himself in the business of importing vehicle spare parts. His shop, tucked away in a corner of the market, was a hub of activity where customers from far and wide sought his expertise and reliable parts. Felix's life took a turn when he met Cynthia, a vivacious young woman full of dreams and aspirations. She was studying economics at the nearby university. Despite their age gap, their love was palpable, and they seemed destined for a happy life together, or so he thought. Felix adored Cynthia with a fierce passion, showering her with gifts and affection. There was nothing she lacked. If she indeed lacked anything, it would be that she was yet to ask Felix for it. Against the backdrop of Felix's modest shop, their love story unfolded. They married in a simple yet elegant traditional ceremony, surrounded by the warmth and blessings of their family and friends. Despite being illiterate, Felix's love for Cynthia was evident in every gesture, every smile, and every sacrifice he made for her happiness. As Cynthia neared the completion of her studies, she shared her dream of pursuing a master's degree abroad. She longed to explore new horizons, to broaden her knowledge and experience different cultures. Felix, ever supportive of his wife's dreams, did everything in his power to make it a reality. Selling a portion of his business and borrowing money from friends, he scraped together enough funds to finance her journey to the United Kingdom. With tears in their eyes and promises on their lips, Cynthia bid farewell to Felix and their 3-year-old child, promising to return soon. However, months turned into a year, and Felix began to feel the weight of her absence. Despite frequent video calls and messages, he missed his wife regardless. While studying, Felix made sure of her welfare by sending her monthly upkeep, both her rent and other unforeseen expense that may come up, as he doesn't want his beloved wife working or distracted for any reasons. Soon after her graduation, she would return back to Nigeria to see her family, spend time with them, and traveled back. While she was in Nigeria, she had earlier informed Felix of the relocation plans, as she would first send for their daughter while she processes his. Since his business was doing just fine, he could always come visit them from time to time until he is fully confident his business would effectively function without his presence. Years passed swiftly as Felix continued to work tirelessly, ensuring Cynthia lacked nothing. He sent money for their daughter's education, all the while longing for the day he would finally be reunited with his family. However, fate had a different plan. Soon she started sending documents to Felix for him to sign, telling him it was for his relocation. Felix, despite his illiteracy, signed documents she sent without properly vetting, believing they were related to their plans to join her once she settled abroad with their child. However, one day, a message arrived on Felix's phone that shattered his world. Cynthia made a decision that would alter the course of their lives. She confessed to Felix about her rekindled feelings for Emeka. The words hung heavy in the humid air, each syllable a dagger piercing Felix's heart. The documents Felix had signed were not what he thought. They were legal papers transferring custody of their child to Cynthia's ex-boyfriend, Emeka, who coincidentally lived in the same city as her. Shock and disbelief gripped Felix as he realized the depth of the betrayal. Shock and disbelief gripped Felix as he realized the depth of the betrayal. His beloved Cynthia had orchestrated their separation right from the very first day he met her, merely using Felix to fund and sponsor not just herself but also her alleged ex-boyfriend abroad, using his illiteracy to her advantage. Heartbroken and betrayed, Felix sought solace in the embrace of his family, friends, and the wisdom of his elders. They counseled him to find strength and to continue living, that surely karma will catch up with her someday. For Felix, finding strength was a near impossibility. He felt shattered, used, depressed, angered, violated amongst many emotions. Breathing was so hard as his chest seemed clogged, his vision blur, his head pounding, and his heart racing like the speed of light. Cynthia was enjoying her landslide victory with her new family just the way she had planned it to be. Her new reality felt like the paradise she dreamt of. Joy filled her heart as she constantly was caught by Emeka talking to herself, smiling sheepishly, singing and dancing. Cynthia began to run the affairs of the home, pay the bills. Her duty was to make sure Emeka and her child lacked nothing. While Emeka was okay being an idle stay-at-home dad whose only duty was to watch cartoons and feed their child from the meals made by Cynthia. Soon, Cynthia had to source for jobs as the money they had was running out. They had to feed, pay bills, and their child needed to start school. Just while she was thinking of possible ways to go about the situation, she then realized she had burned the only bridge that sustained her and was now left on her own to find solutions to every of her problems, which wasn't something she was used to doing. Thoughts began to cloud her mind. She then resolved to talking to Emeka about the situation so they both can come up with solutions before things go sour. The conversation with Emeka didn't go really well as Cynthia would have expected. Emeka clearly stated that he had no business working as that was not their initial agreement. Cynthia began to source for jobs as it seemed as the best decision to make at that time, but somehow, she wasn't getting any. She became restless, all her efforts were futile. Emeka was very unbothered. He seemed to be happier about the situation than normal. He didn't care about anyone or anything. All he cared for was that he was well fed and catered for. Nothing else mattered. Felix, who with the help of his family members and tribesmen was able to pay up the loans he owed. He felt a little relief as he could now return to business, even though not as elaborate as old times. He was still okay. Would Felix heed to the counsel of his tribesmen? Or would he be the karma catching up with her sooner than expected? Would the universe be fair to Cynthia? Would Emeka be Cynthia walking karma? What did you learn from the story? What will you do if you were in Felix's shoes? Let us know in the comment section. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notification icon to always be notified when we post new stories.